Immortal Lu Dongbin is tormented by guilt after he caused the death of the fairy He. One day he discovers that a shard of the divine essence of the dead fairy is still in the mortal world, trapped in the body of a girl named Bai Ying. Lu gives up all his magic powers to go down to the human world as an ordinary person and find her. But it turns out that the essence of the fairy and the mortal body do not want to combine, and in the case of delay Bai Ying will die, and the fairy He will lose the chance to reincarnate. To separate the two, Lu must find a legendary artifact, the path to which knows only the demon lord, who is imprisoned for centuries. It may seem that Travel to the East is just another online fantasy flick, one of those that are doomed to oblivion the day after its premiere, but in fact this particular movie had every chance to hook a certain audience. The thing is that the creators of Travel to the East pulled out of retirement Taiwanese actor Steve Ma, who in the 80s and 90s actively worked in his homeland, and in the noughties tried to become a star on the mainland. However, in 2015 he officially ended his movie career, and Travel to the East is his first movie after a long break. What's more, it's a kind of return to his roots for him. The 1998 Singaporean series The Legend of the Eight Immortals, in which Ma played the leader of the Eight, Lu Dongbin, was once very popular in China. In Travel to the East, Ma again tried on the image of this legendary character, which have not undergone any visual changes, so that the movie can well be considered a sequel to that series, albeit released a quarter of a century after. Even his fan, beloved by the series viewers, is in place. But we should say that the authors of the film added to Travel to the East a good portion of humor, trying not only to exploit the nostalgia, but also to reinvent it with a light and kind irony. Alas, all this is only a wrapper, which is certainly important to the Chinese, but hardly means anything to those who grew up in the West. And if you remove all these frills from Travel to the East, you will be left with a very typical romantic online fantasy, which is built not on spectacular fights, but on languid glances and love confessions. All the action is concentrated in the final third act of the film and consists of posing with weapons, surrounded by special effects, and the main course is a romantic comedy with adventure vibe, with a lot of high-minded romance, silly jokes and simple moralizing. It's not a bad movie, and it's easy to imagine people liking it. It's just that in today's Chinese online cinema there's a clear crisis of overproduction in this genre. To get people's attention, authors need to jump in over their heads. The creators of Travel to the East didn't even try to surprise, which is sad, considering that the film's directors Yang Shui and Zhong Weisi are veterans of Chinese online cinema, and the project was assembled by Andy Chan, a legendary Hong Kong editor who has worked with Yuan Wuping, Sui Hark, Ringo Lam and Wong Kar-wai.